Hello, everybody. It's Nick James from Hotspawn, and I'm here with the interview of a lifetime. None other than the greatest player to ever touch the game, T1 Faker, coming off of a incredibly strong series into BLG. Yesterday at the press conference, you had a line that got a lot of press, which was about how BLG was going to be a lot easier than CFO. That's clearly true. You guys dispatched them 3-0. Why was BLG an easier opponent than CFO?
이제 그 전 CF전이 끝나고 BLG전은 더 쉬울 것이다라고 말씀하셨는데 정말 말씀하신 그대로 3대0 더 깔끔한 승리 가져올 수 있었습니다. BLG가 더 쉬운 상대라고 생각하신 그 이유가 무엇인가요?
CF전 같은 경우에는 저희가 경기력이 좋았다고 생각을 했는데 CF의 그런 전략이나 준비성들이 좀 저희의 허점을 좀 찔렀다고 생각하고 BLG전 같은 경우에는 저희가 지금 충분히 경기력이 좋기 때문에 다시 한번 경기를 치르면 이길 수 있을 거라고 생각했습니다.
Throughout the CFO series, I could feel that we are in a great form. You know, our performance is good, but I think the key of them pushing us through Game 5 was like they were so well prepped, and their strategy also kind of attacked us really well. So because I knew that our performance was really good, I could tell that the upcoming BLG series will be also pretty good.
Yeah, totally. Makes sense. So now we'll jump on to sort of the main bulk of the interview, which is you've played this game for a very long time. You've won all of the championships there are to win, and you've sort of accomplished everything there is to do. And the question is not about that, but it's why do you still find the game fun? Because I watch your comms, I watch your videos with teammates, your reactions to plays and games, and you're clearly still enjoying this goofy 2010 game over a decade later. What are the things that made you fall in love with League of Legends, and are those still there? What's keeping you in love with League of Legends?
이제 정말 우승할 수 있는 건 정말 다 우승하셨고 수없이 많은 우승을 하셨고 정말 많은 경기를 이기셨는데 아직까지도 페이커 선수가 그 팀원분들과 게임하는 그런 보이스를 듣거나 게임하는 모습을 보면 여전히 게임을 정말 사랑하고 즐기고 있다는 게 느껴집니다. 이렇게 10년도에 나온 정말 10살도 더 된 이 게임을 여전히 즐기고 사랑하는 그런 요소가 무엇이고 처음에 이 롤이라는 게임에 빠지게 된 그 핵심은 무엇이었는지 기억나세요?
일단 저 같은 경우에는 게임을 워낙 좋아하기도 하고 그래서 그런 열정이 지금도 계속 유지되는 것 같고 또 이제 프로게이머를 하면서 계속해서 스스로 발전시키면서 좋은 경기력을 유지하는 게 스스로 있어서는 굉장히 재밌고 가치 있다고 느껴지고요. 그리고 처음에도 제가 어렸을 때부터 워낙 또 게임을 좋아하기도 했고 그냥 좀 원래 게임을 좋아하는 것 같습니다.
First and foremost, I loved video games, of course. And ever since I turned pro, just doing my best to improve, finding the aspect where I can improve and becoming actually a better player and having a better performance was really big for me. So I really enjoyed that process. So also, I just love video games since I was a kid.
Yeah, awesome. So that love for video games is something I want to touch on. I've been talking with a lot of pros, particularly the MKOI players I found out are huge fans of all of the modes that aren't Summoner's Rift. Jojo plays ARAM, Mirwin and Elyoya duo in Arena. Mirwin's a big PvE guy. Supa loved Odyssey. I know that you play Arena, and so I'm just interested to sort of know what's your experience with the games that aren't Summoner's Rift? Do you have a favorite, and why do you enjoy the modes that you do play so much? Because I've certainly seen clips of you styling on people in Arena.
또 이제 MKOI 선수분들이랑 인터뷰했을 때 많은 선수들이 대부분 협곡이 아닌 그런 모드들도 많이 즐기더라고요. 조조편 선수는 칼바람 굉장히 좋아하시고 미르윈 and 엘료야 선수는 둘이 계속 그 아레나 듀오를 계속하고 정말 그런 모드를 즐기는 모습을 많이 봤는데 페이커 선수도 아레나를 하시는 걸 제가 좀 몇 번 봤거든요. 페이커 선수도 이런 다양한 게임 모드 특히 아레나 즐기시는 그 이유가 뭔가요?
아레나 같은 경우에 좀 템포도 짧고 좀 손풀기도 좋고 그런 뭐랄까 좀 순간적인 판단이나 그런 대처들에도 좀 많이 도움이 되기 때문에 많이 하는 것 같습니다.
Arena mode definitely helps you warm up. And also it's very fast paced. And also it actually helps you when it comes to like fast reflex, decision making and like reactions. So I think it's pretty helpful.
Yeah, awesome. Does Faker have like a favorite augment item champion combo in Arena? Because you can do some pretty wacky things in that mode. Does he have a particularly powerful combo that he finds fun or that he's done before that was really fun to do?
In Arena, right?
Yeah, in Arena. Yeah.
아레나 모드에서 뭐 제일 좋아하는 그런 빌드라든지 뭐 그런 게 있을까요? 구체적으로?
예전에 우디르를 했었는데 그때 뭐 돌풍이랑 좀 암살자 템을 많이 간 다음에 그 공격 사거리를 늘려주는 걸 했었는데 그때 한 방에 이제 다 잡는 빌드가 있었어가지고 그때 재밌었던 것 같습니다.
So there's just one time where I played Udyr and Gale Force and a lot of the augments that extends your range, and I built a lot of assassin items, so I could just like literally one shot everyone. That was really fun.
Ew. Yeah. No, I've been hit with some pretty crazy Udyr builds, but yeah, but that is nuts. Okay, so next up is sort of a similar question about enjoying other parts of League. I know Faker doesn't watch any TV shows or movies, but presumably he's aware of Arcane, animated show about League of Legends characters. If he could decide what League of Legends character would get their own animated show, who would he want? And since he doesn't watch any shows, is there any character that they could make a show about that he'd be tempted to watch?
뭐 드라마나 영화 거의 안 보시죠?
네.
근데 아케인에 대해서는 좀 아시죠? 대충 컨셉은
네.
아시고. 그러면 이제 아케인 같은 또 롤 관련 애니를 만든다 했을 때 어떤 챔프가 주인공이 됐으면 좋겠는지, 아니면 아예 롤 챔프에 관한 TV 쇼를 만든다 했을 때 어떤 챔프가 주인공 하이라이트를 받았으면 좋겠나요?
롤 챔피언 스킬은 잘 아는데 챔피언에 대해서는 좀 잘 몰라가지고 그리고 TV 쇼도 잘 모르고요. 이거는 아이언한테 롤 잘하는 법 물어보는 거랑 똑같은 것 같습니다.
So I know really well about league champions and their skills. I don't know about them actually, I don't know about their backgrounds, storylines. So, and I also don't know anything about TV shows. So it's like asking an iron player how to play League well.
Okay, sure. That makes sense. That's totally fine. I know you don't watch shows. I know you do read books. And recently, League has started to branch out into books. There are 2 books available in like paperback, hardcover, and they are Ruination, which is about Viego, and there's a book about Ambessa. I think I know the answer, so given what you've just said. Have you read either one of them? Are you tempted at all to read any League lore books?
이제 롤 스토리 책 2권이 나왔거든요. 사실 여태까지 비에고랑 안베사가 나왔는데 혹시 읽으셨는지 아니면 읽으실 의향이 있으신가요?
재밌으면 한번 읽어볼게요.
If it's good, I'll try.
Well, I think the Ruination book is the better of the 2, but the Ambessa book's also fun.
비에고 게 좀 더 낫긴 한데 둘 다 재밌긴 하다고 하네요.
Okay, sweet. So the next one is, again, Faker doesn't use skins, so I can't ask about your favorite skin, but I am curious, you've loaded in, since you don't use skins, you see the splash art, the basic art for the character a lot. Do you have a character whose splash art, whose profile art you really like? Is there a character who, just the way that they're depicted is like cool to you or resonant with you?
워낙 스킨을 안 쓰시니까 스킨 관련돼서는 여쭤볼 수가 없는데, 그래도 이제 기본 챔피언 스킨 없이 기본 챔을 이제 로딩을 하면 이렇게 초상화가 다 나오잖아요. 그 중에 좀 마음에 든다, 좀 얘가 좀 멋있네, 이거 좀 외형적으로 그냥 내 스타일이다, 멋있다, 이렇게 디자인 같은 게.
사실 챔피언 초상화를 그렇게 자세히 살펴본 적이 없어서 제가 자세히 살펴본 거는 그 불멸의 아리 스킨밖에 없어가지고 그때 같이 작업에 참여를 했기 때문에 그거를 선택하겠습니다.
I also actually don't really pay attention to the splash arts, but I collaborated to actually make my Ari skin, so I will go with that
Yeah,
one.
no, that is a great choice. That's a fantastic choice there. And then the last one is, I'd been talking with, again, the MKOI players about a lot of the PvE modes that Riot has done, the different game modes. They added the card game during the Noxus season. We've had, the Star Guardian, Odyssey, and Anima Squad. Modes where you fight a bunch of monsters. Have you tried any of those while they've been out? And I know you've talked about like improving, but Arena improves reflexes, and there's these other ways that you can interact with these game modes. Do you get any enjoyment? Did you try any of these game modes?
카드 게임은 저는 재밌게 했고 원래 좀 전략 게임을 좀
룬테라?
좋아해서 룬테라 말고 그 게임 모드 있었는데
이거 때리는 거?
악말패, 악말패 그거는 좀 재밌겠고, 그리고 동물특공대 모드는 잠깐 했었는데 너무 좀 템포도 길고 별로 도움되지 않을 것 같아서 안 했습니다.
I really like the ones where you play with the cards and like combine the numbers and like attack. That was really
yeah,
fun.
yeah,
I like
yeah,
those
yeah.
kind of a game. I really enjoyed it. Animal Squad, I did try, but it was a little too long, and I thought it's not going to help me improve my league skills. So
Yeah.
it's a not nah. for
Yeah,
me.
it took forever to beat that mode. But the Swain card game was really fun. I played all the way through Demon's Hand, and I thought it was really interesting. The next one is, as we talked about, you've been in this game for a really long time. You've seen how it's evolved, and while you haven't watched Arcane, League is beginning to expand out into a lot more than just one video game. There's now Teamfight Tactics, Legends of Runeterra. There's stuff like Arcane. They've announced that they're working on a live-action show. What do you think about the way that League of Legends is growing to like so much more than just what it was, when you started playing? And what has that been like to see as a player?
롤이 지금 정말 거의 게임으로 시작해서 다양한 엔터테인먼트적인 요소가 많고 게임적으로도 TFT도 나오고 룬테라도 나오고 이제 드라마도 나오려고 하고 있고 뭐 아케인이라는 애니도 나오고 정말 다양한 식으로 확장을 하고 있는데 어렸을 때부터 이 게임만 있었을 때부터 플레이했던 유저로서 이런 롤의 성장을 보면서 좀 어떠신가요? 의견이 궁금합니다.
개인적으로는 뭐 게임을 플레이하는 것 외에는 크게 뭐 관심 가지고 있는 부분은 아니긴 한데 그래도 개인적으로 느꼈을 때는 그런 시도들이 이제 그런 라이엇 게임즈가 얼마나 좀 다른 얼마나 그런 핵심 가치를 가지고 있고 그런 것들이 좀 보여서 그런 부분들은 좀 좋게 보이는데 좀 더 저는 이제 많이 성공하고 또 이제 많은 분들께 많이 영감을 줬으면 좋겠습니다.
Well, myself, I didn't really pay attention to other expense of League of Legends, but still, those kind of attempts of Riot tells a lot about their core value, which I really like, and I hope it can inspire a lot of other people out there.
All right. Awesome. Now that we've talked about all the things that aren't competitive, we will take it back to competitive for the end of the interview. And that's just, you guys have looked very strong this tournament, especially in your recent games, I think even stronger than people expected coming into these games. When you look ahead at the teams ahead of you, are there any matchups that you'd be really excited to face, that you really want to test this version of T1 against? And just who are you excited to possibly play as you head further into MSI?
저 같은 경우는 이제 앞으로 있을 젠지전도 많이 기대가 되고 또 AL 같은 경우에 젠지와 굉장히 좋은 경기를 했었는데 한 번쯤 맞붙을 기회가 있으면 또 이제 팬분들도 보기에 즐거울 것 같고 저희도 좋은 경험을 할 것 같습니다.
First off, Genji right ahead of us. I'm really excited for the matchup, but also AL. They were able to put up a good fight up against Genji, so I wish we can get a chance to actually go up against them.
All right, perfect. Very last thing is just T1 fans have been cheering you on as hard as they always do. It's hard to find a more passionate, more invested group of fans in esports. So I'll leave the camera to you. Just anything to say for the fans in red, black, white, gold all over this arena that have been cheering you guys on throughout this event.
최근 들어서 또 저희 경기를 보면서 팬분들이 많이 즐거워하시는 걸 보고 또 저희도 많이 즐거운데 이번 MSI 때 열심히 준비해서 또 팬분들이 원하는 경기를 보여드리고 싶습니다.
I was really happy to see our fans having the joy by watching our match. So I really wish you can continue that happening, and will do our best to keep our best form in order to bring more joy to the fans.
Yeah, I have seen T1 jerseys all over Vancouver, not even near the arena. I was out like 20 kilometers away at a breakfast cafe, and 3 people just walked by wearing T1 jerseys. So it's been really awesome to see the fans that you guys get out here. All right, thank you so much for your time, Faker. That is our interview with the one and only Unkillable Demon King. I'm Nick from Hotspawn. Thank you so much.